My girlfriend texted me. I think we should break up now. I immediately replied, you're right. I'm putting your things outside. Come pick them up. The very next moment, she panicked and wrote, wait, I was joking. Please, just listen. But by then, I was already thinking about something else. I'm 29, and until 3 days ago, I thought I had my life figured out. My girlfriend Sarah and I had been together for 4 years. We lived in a decent apartment in the city, split the rent evenly, had our routines down. Saturday mornings were farmers market trips. Tuesday nights were our cooking experiments that usually ended in takeout. Normal stuff. Happy stuff, or so I believed. The text came on a Wednesday afternoon. I was at my desk working from home when my phone buzzed. I think we should break up now. No context. No warning. Just that. I stared at it for maybe 10 seconds. My first thought wasn't sadness. It was relief. And that told me everything I needed to know. I typed back quickly. You're right. I'm putting your things outside. Come pick them up. Her response was almost instant. Wait, I was joking. Please, just listen. Then another. Babe, I didn't mean it like that. I was testing you. Then, please answer your phone. I didn't answer. Instead, I started packing. I pulled out the suitcases from the hall closet and began methodically folding her clothes from the dresser. T-shirts, jeans, that purple sweater she always wore on lazy Sundays. I wasn't angry. I wasn't even upset. I was just done. My phone kept buzzing. Calls, texts, voicemails piling up. I ignored all of it and kept packing. Here's the thing nobody tells you about relationships. Sometimes the breaking point isn't a massive betrayal. Sometimes it's a stupid text message that makes you realize you've been ignoring red flags for months because it was easier than dealing with them. Sarah had a habit of testing me. Little games to see if I cared enough. She'd say she was going out with friends and then get mad if I didn't text her enough while she was gone. She'd mention some guy hitting on her at work and watch my reaction like a hawk. She'd pick small fights about nothing just to see if I'd fight back or apologize. At first, I thought it was just insecurity. Then I thought maybe I wasn't being attentive enough. But after 4 years, I was exhausted. This breakup text was just the latest test. And I'd failed it, or passed it, depending on your perspective. Update 1. By the time Sarah got home 2 hours later, I had 3 suitcases and 4 boxes stacked by the door. I'd been thorough. Bathroom stuff, kitchen items she'd brought from her old place, books, decorations, everything. If it was hers, it was packed. She walked in and stopped cold when she saw the pile. What are you doing? Her voice was sharp, but I could hear the panic underneath. What you asked for, I said calmly. I was sitting on the couch with a beer, probably looking more relaxed than I felt. You wanted to break up. So we're breaking up. I told you I was joking. Were you, though? She opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. I just wanted to see if you'd fight for us. By pretending to dump me, I took a sip of my beer. Sarah, I'm tired. I'm tired of the tests, the games, the constant need to prove I care about you. I do care about you. I did. But I can't keep doing this. You're being dramatic, she said, but her voice wavered. It was just a text. It wasn't just a text. It was 4 years of this. Remember when you told me you were going on a date with your coworker to see if I'd get jealous? Or when you packed a bag and said you were leaving, then got mad when I didn't stop you? I'm done playing. She started crying then. Real tears, not the manipulative kind she'd used during arguments. Please. I'll change. I promise I'll stop. I love you. I know you do, I said, and I meant it. But love isn't supposed to feel like a constant test I'm failing. She grabbed my arm. Just give me another chance. One more chance. I gently removed her hand. Your stuff is by the door. I'll give you until Friday to get it all out. I already talked to the landlord about taking my name off the lease. You talked to? When did you do that? About an hour ago. I'd called him right after I finished packing, explained the situation. He was understanding, said he'd draw up new paperwork. You can keep the apartment if you want, or we can both move out. Up to you. She looked at me like I'd grown a second head. You're serious? You're actually serious. Dead serious. She left that night, took one suitcase and said she'd be back for the rest. I watched her car pull away and felt nothing. No regret, no second thoughts. Just a weird sense of peace. Update 2. The next morning, I woke up to 47 text messages. Most from Sarah, some from her best friend Jessica, even one from her mom. All variations of "you're making a mistake," and "she loves you so much," and "you're going to regret this." I replied to her mom because she'd always been kind to me. I'm sorry things ended this way. Sarah is a good person, but we weren't good for each other. I wish her all the best. To Jessica, I just sent, stay out of it, please. To Sarah's texts, I didn't respond at all. That afternoon, my best friend Marcus came over with pizza and beer. I'd filled him in on everything via text earlier. Dude, he said, dropping the pizza boxes on the counter. I'm proud of you. Seriously. For what? Ending a 4-year relationship over a text? For ending a 4-year relationship that was slowly killing you. He grabbed 2 beers from the fridge, handed me one. I've been watching you shrink yourself for years trying to keep her happy. You stopped hanging out with us as much. You stopped doing your photography. You were always anxious about saying the wrong thing. I hadn't realized how obvious it had been to everyone else. She wasn't a bad person, I said. No, she wasn't. But she was bad for you. There's a difference. We ate pizza and watched a hockey game. And for the first time in months, I didn't check my phone every 5 minutes. Update 3, Friday came. Sarah showed up with Jessica and another friend to get her stuff. I stayed in the bedroom while they loaded everything into a U-Haul. I heard them talking in low voices, heard Sarah crying at one point, heard Jessica say something like, his loss, loud enough for me to hear. When they were done, Sarah knocked on the bedroom door. Can I talk to you? She asked through the door. Please. Just for a minute. I opened it. She looked exhausted, eyes red and puffy. I'm sorry, she said. I'm sorry for all of it. The tests, the games, everything. You were right. I was scared you'd leave me, so I kept pushing to make sure you'd stay, and I pushed you away instead. I appreciate the apology, I said honestly, and I hope you figure things out. You deserve to be happy, Sarah. But so do I. I know. She wiped her eyes. For what it's worth, you were the best boyfriend I ever had. I just didn't know how to handle that. We hugged, awkward and sad, and then she left. That should have been the end of it. Clean break, mutual understanding, everyone moves on. But life is never that simple. Update 4. 2 weeks later, I was out at a bar with Marcus and some other friends, actually having a good time, when I got a DM on Instagram from a number I didn't recognize. Hey, this is going to sound weird, but I think you should know something about Sarah. I almost didn't respond. I'd been doing so well, feeling lighter, reconnecting with hobbies and friends. But curiosity got the better of me. Who is this? My name is Tom. I work with Sarah. We've been seeing each other for about 6 months. I read that message 3 times. You're going to need to be more specific, I typed back. What followed was a series of screenshots. Text conversations between Sarah and this Tom guy. Flirty messages starting from 5 months ago. Pictures of them together at restaurants I recognized. Places Sarah had told me she was going with the girls from work. Plans to meet up on nights she said she was doing overtime. The timestamps were damning. There was a message from the Tuesday before she sent me that breakup text. I think I'm going to do it tomorrow. Finally end things with him. Tom's response, about time. I'm tired of hiding. Sarah, I know, baby. I just need to make sure he doesn't suspect anything first. I sat there in the loud bar, music thumping, friends laughing nearby, staring at my phone screen in complete disbelief. Marcus noticed. You good, man? I showed him the messages. Watched his face go from confused to furious in about 5 seconds. That absolute. He caught himself, looked around. You want to leave? No. I typed a response to Tom. Why are you telling me this? Tom. Because she dumped me yesterday. Said she made a mistake leaving you and wanted to try to fix things. That you were the one, and she realized it too late. I thought you should know what kind of person you're dealing with before she tries to worm her way back. Marcus was reading over my shoulder. Wow. She's something else. I felt weird. Not heartbroken. That's the strange part. I felt vindicated. All those months of feeling like I was crazy for being bothered by her behavior. All those times she made me feel like I was overreacting or being too sensitive. I wasn't. My gut had been right. Thank you for telling me. I typed to Tom. I appreciate it. And for what it's worth, you dodged a bullet too. Tom, we both did, man. Update 5. I didn't reach out to Sarah. Didn't confront her. Didn't ask for explanations. What would be the point? We were done, and now I knew exactly how right that decision had been. But Sarah reached out to me 3 days later. The text said, I miss you. I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I realize I messed up everything. Can we meet for coffee? Just to talk. I screenshot it and sent it to Tom with the caption, called it. His response, unbelievable. I stared at her message for a long time. Part of me, a small, petty part, wanted to tell her I knew everything, wanted to expose her, make her feel as foolish as she'd tried to make me feel with all her tests. But the bigger part of me just wanted peace. So I wrote back, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm moving forward, and I think you should too. Take care of yourself, Sarah. She tried calling. I didn't answer. She sent more texts, each one more desperate than the last, talking about how she'd changed, how she understood now what she'd lost, how she wanted to prove herself. I blocked her number, blocked her on social media, told our mutual friends I didn't want updates about her. Marcus asked me if I felt guilty about it. I thought about that question for a while. No, I finally said. I feel free. Final update. It's been 4 months now. I moved into a smaller apartment, just a one-bedroom place downtown. It's mine, completely mine, decorated how I want with nobody testing whether I care enough about throw pillows. I've been doing my photography again, actually started a small side business doing portraits and events. Reconnected with friends I drifted away from. Started going to the gym, not because I need to look a certain way, but because it feels good to do something just for me. I ran into Jessica last month at a coffee shop. It was awkward for about 30 seconds. Then she said, "For what it's worth, I think you made the right call." Yeah. Sarah's not doing great. She's been jumping from guy to guy, and I think she's finally realizing she sabotaged something good. But that's not your problem anymore. No, I agreed. It's not. I've thought a lot about that breakup text over these months. How something so small and stupid ended up being the best thing that could have happened to me. If Sarah hadn't sent it, I might have stayed in that relationship for years, slowly losing myself piece by piece, always trying to pass tests I didn't know I was taking. Sometimes I wonder if she really was joking when she sent it, or if she was planning to break up with me all along and chickened out when I didn't react the way she expected. Honestly, it doesn't matter anymore. What matters is I'm finally living my life without constantly looking over my shoulder, waiting for the next test, the next game, the next moment I'll inevitably fail. I'm 29, single, and for the first time in years, I'm genuinely happy. Not pretending everything's fine happy. Actually, deeply, peacefully happy. And that's worth more than any relationship I had to play games to keep. Edit 1. A lot of people are asking if Sarah ever found out I knew about Tom. No, and I don't plan on telling her. That information was for me to have closure, not for me to use as a weapon. Edit 2. Some comments are saying I gave up too easily or should have tried couples therapy. I'd suggested therapy twice over the previous year. She said we didn't need it, that I was making problems where there weren't any. You can't fix something when only one person thinks it's broken.